Welcome, dear friend, to the Whispers from the Divine podcast, where we explore the unseen, the divine, and the deeply personal. Each week, I share timeless messages, spiritual insights, and true experiences that speak directly to your soul. What you're about to hear is part of our new podcast series, a collection of my most meaningful messages, revisited and renewed just for you. So take a breath, settle in, and let's begin. If you've been feeling lost or wondering if the challenges you faced were meant to break you, this message is for you. Your angel has been working quietly, guiding and protecting you in ways you may not even realize. Today, I'm going to share the unseen ways they've been walking beside you and why now is the time to truly listen. Divine guidance and intuition. Angels often communicate with us through subtle nudges, whispers, and intuitive feelings. They gently guide us along our path, helping us make decisions that align with our highest good. Whether it's a sudden inspiration, a gut feeling, or a serendipitous encounter, angels work behind the scenes to steer us in the right direction and illuminate the path ahead. Emma's crossroads revelation. Emma had been struggling with a major decision about her career path, feeling torn between staying in her current job, which provided stability but lacked fulfillment, and pursuing her passion for writing. She found herself at a crossroads. One day, while taking a walk in the park feeling lost and uncertain, Julia noticed a feather gently floating down from above, landing at her feet. Intrigued, she picked up the feather and felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over her. In that moment, she knew deep in her heart that she needed to follow her passion for writing. The feather served as a powerful sign from the angels, guiding her toward the path that would bring her true fulfillment and happiness. With newfound clarity and confidence, Julia embraced her writing journey, knowing that she was supported by divine guidance every step of the way. Matthew's near-miss accident. Matthew was driving home late one night after a long day at work when he suddenly felt a strong urge to change his route and take a different road. Initially hesitant, he followed his intuition and took the alternate route. Minutes later, as he approached an intersection on his usual route, he was stunned to see a massive car accident had just occurred, blocking the road entirely. Had he not listened to his inner guidance and taken the detour, Matthew could have been involved in the accident. Reflecting on the experience later, he realized that his intuition had been guided by angels, protecting him from harm and leading him to safety. Maggie's unexpected encounter. Maggie was feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about a major life decision when she decided to take a break and visit her favorite coffee shop. As she sat lost in thought, a stranger approached her and struck up a conversation. They ended up talking for hours, and Maggie found herself opening up about her struggles and doubts. To her surprise, the stranger offered wise advice and encouragement that resonated deeply with her. Touched by the encounter, Maggie felt a renewed sense of hope and clarity. She knew in her heart that the stranger had been sent by angels to offer her guidance and support during a time of need. Protection and safety. Angels are our celestial protectors, watching over us with unwavering vigilance. They stand guard against negative energies, accidents and harm, creating a shield of divine light around us. Whether we're navigating dangerous situations, traveling to unfamiliar places, or facing challenges, angels offer their protective presence to keep us safe and secure. Jane's Mysterious Stranger. Jane, a young woman travelling alone in a foreign country, found herself lost in a rough neighbourhood late one night. Feeling anxious and vulnerable, she searched for a way back to her hotel, but the streets were deserted and she didn't speak the local language. Just as panic began to set in, a stranger appeared out of nowhere and offered to help her find her way. Despite feeling wary at first, Jane sensed a calming presence around the stranger and decided to trust him. He led her safely back to her hotel, navigating through the unfamiliar streets with ease. When they reached her destination, Jane turned to thank the stranger, but he had vanished without a trace. Grateful for the mysterious stranger's assistance, Jane couldn't shake the feeling that he had been sent by angels to protect her from harm and guide her safely home. James's car breakdown. James was driving home late one evening when his car suddenly broke down on a deserted stretch of highway. With no cell phone signal and no nearby gas stations, he felt helpless and stranded. As he anxiously pondered his options, a passing motorist stopped to offer assistance. Despite feeling wary of accepting help from a stranger, James sensed a reassuring presence around the Good Samaritan and accepted the offer. The stranger helped James fix his car and even offered to follow him to the nearest service station to ensure he made it safely. Once James's car was repaired, he turned to thank the stranger, but he had already driven off into the night. Reflecting on the encounter later, James couldn't shake the feeling that the stranger had been sent by angels to watch over him and ensure his safety during a vulnerable moment. Kate's unexplained rescue. Kate was hiking alone in a remote wilderness area when she lost her footing and tumbled down a steep embankment. Injured and unable to move, she lay helplessly at the bottom of the ravine, fearing she would be stranded there indefinitely. Just as despair began to set in, Kate heard voices calling out to her from above. To her astonishment, a group of hikers appeared at the edge of the ravine, having heard her cries for help. They quickly descended into the ravine, administered first aid, and called for emergency assistance. Within hours, Kate was airlifted to safety and taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. As she recovered from her injuries, Kate couldn't shake the feeling that she had been watched over and protected by angels during her harrowing ordeal. The timely arrival of the hikers felt like a miraculous intervention, reminding Kate that she was never alone, even in her darkest moments. Healing and comfort. In times of distress, angels wrap us in their wings of love and compassion, offering solace and healing for our wounded hearts and spirits. They provide a soothing balm for our pain, bringing comfort and reassurance during difficult times. Whether it's through gentle whispers of encouragement, comforting dreams, or a sense of inner peace. Angels offer their loving support to help us find strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Joshua's healing dream. Joshua, grieving the loss of his beloved grandmother, struggled to find solace and peace in the wake of her passing. One night, as he slept, he had a vivid dream in which he found himself in a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and gentle sunlight. In the dream, Joshua felt a warm embrace and heard his grandmother's voice comforting him, telling him that she was at peace and watching over him with love. When he woke up, Joshua felt a profound sense of healing and comfort wash over him, as if his grandmother's spirit had visited him in his dreams to offer him reassurance and love during his time of need. Elizabeth's angelic encounter. Elizabeth, battling a serious illness and undergoing grueling medical treatments, often felt overwhelmed and frightened by the uncertainty of her condition. One day, while resting in her hospital bed, she experienced a profound sense of calmness and serenity wash over her. As she closed her eyes, she felt a gentle presence in the room and heard a soothing voice whispering words of comfort and encouragement. Though she couldn't see anything with her physical eyes, Elizabeth sensed the presence of angels surrounding her, enveloping her in their loving embrace. From that moment on, Elizabeth felt a renewed sense of hope and inner strength to face her illness with courage and resilience. John's unexpected visitor. John, struggling with chronic pain and emotional distress following a traumatic accident, found himself feeling hopeless and despondent. One evening, as he sat alone in his living room, he felt a sudden shift in the energy of the room and sensed a comforting presence beside him. Though he couldn't see anything with his eyes, John felt a gentle touch on his shoulder and heard a soft voice whispering words of healing and comfort. In that moment, he knew that he was not alone and that angels were watching over him, offering him the support and guidance he needed to heal from his physical and emotional wounds. From that day forward, John felt a profound sense of peace and healing, knowing that he was surrounded by divine love and protection. Divine intervention and miracles. Angels are the divine messengers who bring forth miracles and blessings into our lives when we least expect them. Whether it's a miraculous healing, a timely intervention, or a stroke of good fortune, angels work miracles on our behalf, reminding us of the limitless possibilities that exist in the realm of the divine. By opening our hearts and minds to the magic of angelic intervention, we invite miracles to unfold in our lives in ways we could never have imagined. Teresa's miraculous recovery. Teresa, a young woman diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer, was given a grim prognosis by her doctors. Despite undergoing extensive treatments, her condition continued to worsen, and she was told that there was little hope for her survival. In her darkest hour, Teresa prayed fervently for a miracle, asking for divine intervention to heal her body and restore her health. One night, as she lay in her hospital bed, Teresa had a vivid dream in which she saw a radiant figure bathed in light standing at the foot of her bed. The figure spoke to her with words of love and reassurance, telling her that she was not alone and that she would be healed. When Teresa woke up the next morning, she felt a surge of energy and vitality coursing through her body. To the amazement of her doctors, subsequent tests revealed that her cancer had miraculously gone into remission, and Teresa was declared cancer-free. She attributed her miraculous recovery to the intervention of angels, who had answered her prayers and bestowed upon her the gift of healing. Stephen's narrow escape. Stephen, a businessman travelling on a business trip, found himself on a flight that encountered severe turbulence and engine failure mid-air. As panic spread among the passengers, Stephen felt a sense of calmness wash over him as he prayed silently for protection. Suddenly, he felt a gentle hand on his shoulder and heard a soothing voice whispering words of comfort and reassurance. Though he couldn't see anything with his eyes, Stephen sensed the presence of angels surrounding him, shielding him from harm. Miraculously, the pilot was able to regain control of the plane and make an emergency landing, sparing the passengers from disaster. Stephen knew in his heart that he had been watched over and protected by divine intervention, and he felt overwhelming gratitude for the angels who had guided him to safety. Carol's unexplained rescue. Carol, a young woman stranded in a remote area during a severe snowstorm, found herself lost and disoriented as darkness fell. With no way to call for help and no shelter in sight, she feared for her life as temperatures plummeted. Just when she was on the brink of despair, Carol noticed a faint glow of light in the distance and felt drawn towards it. As she stumbled towards the light, she suddenly found herself surrounded by a group of strangers who had come to her rescue. They provided her with warm clothing, food, and shelter until the storm passed and she could safely make her way home. Carol couldn't explain how the strangers had found her in the middle of nowhere or how they had known she needed help, but she felt certain that they were angels sent to guide her to safety. Their timely arrival felt like a miraculous intervention, and Carol knew that she had been watched over and protected by divine forces beyond her comprehension. Synchronicities and divine signs. Angels communicate with us through synchronicities, signs, and symbols that appear in our everyday lives. Whether it's seeing repetitive numbers, encountering feathers or coins, or hearing a meaningful song on the radio, these signs serve as reminders of the angels' presence and guidance. By paying attention to these divine synchronicities, we can receive messages of love, encouragement, and affirmation from the angelic realm. Nicholas's career confirmation. Nicholas had been contemplating a career change for months, feeling uncertain about whether he should leave his stable job to pursue his passion for photography full-time. One day, as he was driving to work, he noticed a billboard with a striking image of a camera and the words, "Follow your dreams," emblazoned across it. Intrigued by the synchronicity, Nicholas felt a surge of inspiration and decided to take it as a sign to pursue his passion wholeheartedly. That same evening, he received an unexpected phone call from a friend who offered him a freelance photography gig, confirming his decision to pursue his dreams. Nicholas interpreted the billboard as a divine sign, guiding him towards his true calling, and he felt grateful for the synchronicity that affirmed his decision. Diane's unexpected encounter. Diane, grieving the loss of her beloved grandmother, felt lost and alone as she struggled to come to terms with her grief. One day, as she was walking through the park, she noticed a bench with her grandmother's favourite flower, a red rose, sitting on it. Surprised by the coincidence, Diane felt a sudden wave of comfort and reassurance wash over her. As she sat on the bench, lost in thought, a stranger approached her and struck up a conversation. To Diane's amazement, the stranger shared stories about her own experiences with loss and offered words of wisdom and comfort that resonated deeply with Diane's own feelings. By the end of their conversation, Diane felt a renewed sense of hope and connection, realizing that her grandmother's spirit was guiding her through the synchronistic encounter with the stranger. Philip's journey of discovery. Philip had been searching for meaning and purpose in his life, feeling adrift and uncertain about his future. One day, as he was cleaning out his attic, he stumbled upon an old journal belonging to his grandfather, who had passed away many years ago. Intrigued by the discovery, Philip began reading through the journal and was astonished to find that his grandfather had written about his own struggles and questions about life's purpose. In the journal, Philip's grandfather had described a series of synchronistic events and encounters that had ultimately led him to discover his life's calling and find inner peace. Inspired by his grandfather's journey, Philip felt a sense of clarity and purpose wash over him, realizing that the synchronicities he had been experiencing were guiding him towards his own path of discovery and fulfillment. As we journey through life, we are never alone. Angels walk beside us, offering their love, guidance, and protection every step of the way. Whether we recognize their presence or not, their influence is felt in the gentle whispers of intuition, the comforting embrace of divine love, and the miraculous moments that fill our lives with wonder and awe. So, open your heart to the angels, dear friends, and invite their loving presence into your life. For with their help, we can navigate life's journey with grace, courage, and divine guidance. Thank you for sharing these stories with me today. I hope one of them brought you comfort, clarity, or a spark of hope. Until we meet again, walk gently and remember, you are never alone.